Good morning, everybody. It's Amanda here with Untamed Fitness and Martial Arts over in Mount Lake Terrace, Washington. Happy Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. I hope it's Wednesday. Today what I wanted to do is kind of go over how to properly know when to scale up or scale down your workouts. I've gotten this question kind of a few times in the past few weeks, and I think it's a decent question. Like it's a good thing to know. Like, how do I know that I'm at my limit of working out, or how do I know when to add that extra workout day? I know, personally, working out with people that go for personal training first, I usually start them out with 3 days a week. Usually it's like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Um, but usually having that rest day in between workouts is really good for the person that's just getting off the couch, that hasn't worked out before, that's still trying to work out their schedule to go around their fitness lifestyle. So if I have had this happen a whole bunch of times where people will want to, start out like hit the ground running, they go, 5 days a week, and then all of a sudden, they're doing their workouts 5 days a week, and then a month later they run out of steam and they completely stop everything, right? Or they get injured, which is like the worst thing that you want to have happen, right? So starting out nice and easy, like if you're a beginner, have never worked out before, 3 days a week is definitely the minimum that you want to do in order to see any type of physical change, such as weight loss, strength, endurance, any of that. Like 3 days a week is absolute minimum. Anything less than that, I feel like you um, will mentally kind of fatigue before your body is able to adequately change over and get that switch. So if you're working out 2 days a week just because that's the only thing that fits in your schedule, that's fine. It's way better than no workouts. But just keep that in mind, that you working out 2 days a week is really just like a drop in a bucket of how many hours that you have per week, right? Let me see. Like let's look up the math real quick, right? So there's 24 hours in a day times 7 days. There's 168 hours in a week. Okay, I hope I did that right. But if you're only doing 2 hours a week of 168 hours is your workout time, then you can see how in comparison you're not really going to be able to show that much like weight loss or results in the amount of time that you want. So bare minimum, you're a beginner, you're just working out, just start out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 hour a week. Make sure you add in some type of like recovery or walking, like go on a hike or something on your day off. But once you do that for, I want to say, at least 6 to 12 weeks, like I give that very, very broad range just because everyone is different. The fitness level that you're entering into your program is going to be different for everyone. And so, for some people it could be less, for some people it could be way, way more. It just kind of depends on how your body reacts to exercise, how consistent you are at it, and then how motivated you are to kind of like add in those extra things. So moving forward, let's say you want to go to that intermediate level. So obviously next number after 3 is 4. Okay, but this is where it kind of gets tricky. People still want their weekends, right? And now at this point, you're going to have one day where you're back to back doing a workout, right? So this is going to be, the split will look something like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? So like, oh man, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I have all those days together, right? But your Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday are off. This can be a little bit intimidating for some people, right? Just because they've never worked out 3 days in a row. They've never worked out 2 days in a row. Working with a trainer, they're going to make sure that it's like adequately set up, that middle day is a little bit more of like a full body or a lighter overall strength workout versus, they're not going to give you 3 hard days in a row, right? So let's say usually what I do for my people, it's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they have 3 full body workouts. They want to add on that extra day because they're really feeling like, they got good momentum, their schedule just opened up, whatever, right? So we add in that 4th day, which would be a Thursday. Usually I started out as a cardio day. So I know cardio is like the bad word you're not supposed to say, right? So if they're a runner, I'll be like, hey, just add in like a 5-10 minute run. I'm gonna have you come back. You're gonna do some, like kettlebell swings. You're gonna do some, light push-ups, sit-ups. Nothing super crazy and complicated, but see how you feel on Friday. If you wake up Friday and you're like, oh my God, my body hurts so much, or like something that feels completely off and wrong, then okay, maybe we got to switch it around. We got to go back and go to the drawing board and see what's going on. But usually 99% of the time, people go through their Wednesday workout, regular strength training. They go to their Thursday workout, a little bit of cardio, usually like a 30 to 45-minute workout. And then they go to their Friday workout. They wake up Friday and they're like, okay, I can tell that I'm sore from the exercises that I did yesterday, but I don't feel like it's going to change anything in my day because of it. And then from there, we just kind of keep increasing the difficulty of that Thursday to get to the point of where the other 3 workouts are. And then all of a sudden it's, you're doing a 4-day split. If people are a little bit more strength oriented, I'm going to have that split up of, you guys have probably heard of it where, you have like back and bis, chest and tris, core, legs, like that is a very typical split up just because those muscle groups work together, and strength and power lifters and bodybuilders have literally been using that since like they started. I was gonna say the dawn of time, but I feel like powerlifting and bodybuilding has only really been around since like maybe like the 50s, right? I don't know, don't quote me on that. But yeah, like your body is going to tell you way more information than any article that you're going to read online, or any personal trainer is going to tell you, right? I'll have a little bit of insight of, okay, I can still tell that you have muscle imbalances. Maybe we should, not push forward yet, get those imbalances fixed first. But your body's going to tell you what to do, right? If you wake up and I'll give you a really good story. Like, there's been a few times where I'll go into fight camp, which is, anywhere from 4 to 12 weeks long. And I'll wake up, and those first two weeks of fight camp, like I literally feel like I don't have the energy to get out of bed, because I'm going from a regular workout split, which for me, I usually work out 6 days a week, 1 hour a day, right? Or sorry, 2 hours a day for grappling and kickboxing, right? That's like a normal maintenance level for me as an athlete, right? So kicking it up into high gear, where we're going into fight camp, all of a sudden I have an hour of strength training. I have cardio, which is usually 30 to 45 minutes long. And then I still have my grappling and my regular kickboxing class, plus some days we have sparring as its own class in general. So I go from, like a 1 to 2 hour workout every day into a 4 to 5 hour workout every day. And I will wake up those first 2 weeks of my fight camp, and I'm just like, I don't even have like the energy to like turn over onto my side. I'm like, I'm so tired. I'm so hungry. Why am I doing this to myself? But like, I just know it's going to happen for the first 2 weeks. And then after that adjustment period, my body's going to get used to kind of doing that little bit of extra output, eating healthier. And then also my sleep gets better. So everyone's threshold is different. But literally just listen to your body. If you feel like you have to set that alarm to go to bed at 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock, go ahead. Don't shame yourself for being a baby and going to bed early. Like, it's okay. If your body is telling you that you need more sleep, you probably need more sleep, and that will avoid injuries in the future. Let me see. Did I miss anything? Oh, how to know when to scale down your workout. That's a good one. So let's say you start out with a trainer, and like I said, normal, everyday I wouldn't say requirement, recommendation would be 3 days a week. Okay. So you start out with me, and let's say you've never worked out a day in your life. And I'm like, okay, let's start with 3 days a week. We meet on Monday. Um, if if we are meeting and I see that you are severely struggling in the first 10 to 15 minutes of our workout, what I most likely will do is recommend that we either drop down to 30 minutes, right? Where your last little bit of your workout is stretching, mobility work, flexibility, that type of stuff. Or that is when I'll probably switch it over to having those 2 days a week. So mind you, this is 2 days a week that you would meet with me, not necessarily 2 days a week to work out. So I'll give you, a more defined example. So you sign up with me for 3 days a week. You want to do that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We always start out with full body just because I don't know what your fitness level is, right? So let's say your fitness level, isn't the greatest, but you're trying, right? So like I said, we start our warm up. You do your 5 minute warm up. We're doing jumping jacks. We're doing side lunges. We're using the TRX to kind of like go into those squats. And you're out of breath. You're shaky. You're kind of like profusely sweating to the point that it doesn't make sense for the exercises that we're doing. That's usually when I'll take a hint, and we're going to still go through some of our functional movements such as squats, push-ups, crunches, but I'm not going to turn it into a cardio all out balls to the wall. Just, I'm going to wait until you like throw up type of thing, right? I don't feel joy in getting people to that point, right? I love seeing people slowly and surely progress as they keep working out with me, right? Actually, I worked with this one guy who the first time I ever met with him, he was a very successful, computer guy, and literally spent the last like 3 years just like hunched over his computer. And then all of a sudden he like shook out of it and was like, "Oh, I have horrible back pain. This is terrible. I am not nearly as strong as I used to be back when I used to be an athlete in high school. I'd like to get back there." So I was working with him, and I had him doing a wall lunge. So really just like a lunge with 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, just trying to go down as far as his mobility would allow him to with his hand on the wall. And he could barely bend to like, I'd want to say like even I'm not really good with degrees, but like he could barely bend like halfway to 90. I guess it's 45, right? Without his legs like severely shaking, and he was like very profusely sweating. And I was like, oh, okay, you know what? His legs aren't as strong. We're gonna modify this exercise. So instead of going back to this exercise that his body clearly was not ready for, we did something called a negative lunge. So same thing, except now you're starting at the bottom and you're coming up. It's a little bit of an easier modification to your workout. But this way you're still letting your muscles get into that position. You're fully getting that stretch of that back leg, like especially in the quad and the hip area. And like I said, he had back issues. So like his glutes and quads, like all of that lower cross syndrome was like super out of whack, right? But yeah, we just kind of kept working on it. We would we'd warm up for the first 15 minutes, we'd work out for 30 minutes, and then we'd cool down for 15 minutes. And that was a full hour for, I want to say, at least the first month and a half. And then it was only once he started eating better, we started meeting and getting our meal planning down. That was when we really started seeing the changes of him sleeping easier, being able to have more energy. His legs got stronger, and then literally to the point where we were doing weighted lunges. What was it? It was like with a barbell with like 25 plates on the ends. It was like, I was like telling him, I like stopped. I'm like, look at you! Like the first time we ever met, you couldn't even do a lunge, and now you're doing weighted lunges. This is amazing. But yeah, it's always really cool seeing people progress like that. So yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to talk about today is how do you know when to progress your workouts and when you may need to modify them, which cool thing about working with a trainer is they can do all that stuff for you, right? Especially when you're coming back from, vacation or time off or pregnancy, any of those things that kind of like put your body out of commission for a little bit. Just go slow, like work with your trainer. Don't try to set new PRs, personal records. I don't know if you guys know that type of jargon. But yeah, just kind of like, be easy with yourself, give yourself grace, all that fun stuff. All right. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks for listening, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.